Hello everybody, my name is Hasty Swampert and I am back to give you all Week 7 of the Universal Pokemon Association Season 5. And for this week, we have a division battle against Ben, or Shiny Sableye 17, who is the coach of the Baltimore Oriolus. And he is killing it this season with a 5-1 record. If you look right here, you probably see my mouse. But besides that, he is Heatran, Slurpuff, Fortress, Cincino, Gallade, Articuno, Mega Manectric, Slowking, Landorus, Therian, Dusknoir, Lantern, and Braviary. So some of the Pokemon he knows how to use, and it's great to use things you're comfortable with. So besides that, let's go on to my team. So to start it off, I felt like Bronzong would work because it deals with Slurpuff. It gets 3 KO'd after a Belly Drum from Play Rough, and it can just Gyro Ball back and boom, gone. And in other scenarios, it walls Braviary because after Superpower, your attack drops. So if it does 50% the first time, then it's not going to KO next turn unless a critical hit happens. Hoping that doesn't happen. So Gyro Ball smacks Slurpuff right in its fat puffy face. Stealth Proc is for the Braviary, and I think that's the only thing weak to rocks. But it also wears the rest of his team down. He doesn't have too much to remove it. He only has Fortress. And then Toxic is for just whatever comes in, like the Slowking. And then Earthquake is for Heatran. Now, Levitate's there just to have a better time against Landorus. It's just in case that I can just throw a Toxic out, do some damage with Gyro Ball. It's not going to do a lot, but it'll do a bit. Now, besides that, we have Ampharos, and this is a different Ampharos I'm running. I'm running Thunderbolt, Dragon Pulse, Volt Switch, but then I'm running Magnet Rise, because how Magnet Rise works is it makes you immune to ground moves for 5 turns. So, if he predicts me to Volt Switch, he can go into Landorus Therian. I go for the Magnet Rise. He can't touch me. He could go for like a Stone Edge, but Stone Edge isn't accurate. So because of that, I can 2-shot Landorus with Dragon Pulse. So really, it's just a weird way of checking Landorus. I personally, I've never tried it before. It requires prediction, and I feel like if I could predict correctly, it can work. And the prediction isn't too hard to make, because it's the only thing which usually blocks Volt Switch. And another thing is that with Dragon and Electric type coverage, I'm neutral with Mold Breaker, because Lantern gets Volt Absorb, but with Mold Breaker it ignores Volt Absorb and it will just hit through with Thunderbolt. So really, it's just perfect neutral coverage. I don't need Focus Blast. I'd mainly use it for Heatran, but that's it. And Magnet Rise just helps with Landorus, so that's Ampharos. Now, Keldeo is different, a bit different, because I get to run a Modest Nature because Ben's team is that slow. It's ridiculous. Like, he has a real speed problem because the fastest thing on his team, well, his fastest thing is Mega Manectric. But besides Mega Manectric and Cincino, which both outspeed Keldeo regardless, the next thing under is Landorus Therian, which is 91 speed. And a Jolly Max Speed Landorus is, let me put up Landorus for you guys. It should be, ignore that. So, if it's Jolly and Max Speed, it's 309. So because of that, I only need 310, so I get to run Modest. And the last bit of defense right here is just to take Earthquake better. Not a significant difference, but it will help. Sorry about that, guys. Taunt is there in case he wants to put hazards up, which I can't let him do. I don't need Icy Wind. I'm a little more concerned about hazards, but I'm not terribly concerned. I just hope he doesn't bring Spikes. Spikes wreck this team. So, yeah, I need to keep an eye on that. And Hydro Pumps for the maximum power, Scald is for burn and accuracy, and Secret Sword, Secret Sword. I don't know why I have to explain the moveset to you, it just hurts his team. So, because of that, that's Keldeo. Now next up we have Absol. Now this is a different Absol. How this goes is, you run 3 attacks. This is for the Slowking, Knock Off, Pursuit, and Sucker Punch. So really, he has to like predict right with the Slowking and be able to preserve it. Now Flamethrower is interesting. It's for the Fortress. And there's a little chance you have to OHKO from full health, but it has a 10% chance to burn. So if I'm able to get that 10% chance to burn on the Fortress, then it'll just ruin Sturdy. Now Super Luck is there just to raise the crit ratio, because there might be a few clutch critical hits which might happen in this game if Absol does anything. And Lumberry is there just for Scald. And I have a Naive Nature, full speed, full attack, and the last 4 in special attack to raise the power of Flamethrower. Now, Jamie we have is Dual Stab, Sludge Bomb, Giga Drain, Sleep Powder, and HP Ground. HP Ground is a way to lure in Heatran, and with the Life Orb, you OHKO. No questions asked. Maybe if it's defensive in the special side, it will 2-hit KO, but it does a lot regardless. And Sleep Powder really will it will disrupt him. That's what's great about Sleep Powder. And Giga Drain hits it hits his Lantern for decent damage, and the Sludge Bomb hits Slurpuff, which can be another problem for the team, because actually my team's either super effective to Fairy or resists it, so yeah, I need to be really careful. And full special attack, full speed, Timid Nature, it's obvious. And I don't think I'll outspeed Lando, but if I do, then that's good to know. Now, we have Flygon. Now, this is a weird Flygon set, but whoever it was helping me. Michael, who was I think he was my week 4 opponent. Yeah, he was my week 4 opponent. He helped me prep. So, was he week 4? I forgot. He was either 4 or 5. I forget this stuff. He was 4, because 5 was John. So, Dragon Claw, Earthquake, and U-Turn. Earthquake hits the Heatran hard. Dragon Claw is just another stab move. It's not going to do too much, but it'll do some chip damage. U-Turn's there because Ben has been known to use a lot of Volt Switch and U-Turn, so I need to kind of do the same thing. And Hidden Power Ice is for the Landorus and the Life Orb. Now, HP Ice isn't going to OHKO Landorus, but it will do a considerable amount of damage. So that is it for the team, and I will see you all when the battle starts. I need to see if Ben is ready. Okay guys, I am ready to battle Ben, and he already sent the challenge. It was rather fast, so here's week 7. Okay, let's go. I am nervous because this guy, man, he is unpredictable. I only battled him once in VGC and that's it. So let's see what he brings. I hope he doesn't bring the Cinccino. He doesn't bring the Cinccino, thank goodness. Okay. Alright guys, let me just link this to the Skype chat. If it ever loads. And let me send this to somebody else. Alright, so you too. Alright, I'm gonna ignore spectators, which is odd, but I want to mainly focus on me and Ben. That's all. Alright, so you might think that I'm gonna lead off with Keldeo, because I lead off with Keldeo way too many times. So because of that, I might be interested in leading with either Bronzong or whoever it is. Bronzong, or I could lead the Ampharos too. But man, I actually didn't pay much attention to Manectric. That's a problem, because if he has the wrong moves, I mean, if he has the right moves, he can actually take out everything on my team, or it can do a considerable amount. So because of that, his team isn't that fast. I might just go into Roserade. and he might think that I'm going to lead with Keldeo, so yeah, I'm going to lead Roserade this time. And you know what, I'm going to run a fast calc in case he leads Manectric. I want to see how much Overheat does. That's Flamethrower. If he runs Overheat though, will it die? Ah, nuts, it's gonna die. That's a bummer. Alright, he leads with the, he leads right off with Fortress. This is good. And another flaw in this team is that he has nothing immune to sleep. Unless he runs Overcoat, but I don't expect him to run Overcoat. So because of that, I'm gonna just go right for the Sleep Powder. And he can do whatever. I hope Sleep Powder doesn't miss. I swear, if I say that and it misses, I totally jinx this. But I don't know what he's gonna really do. He has no switch-ins to sleep, which is good. So you're just gonna wait and see what he does. I wasn't thinking too much about the Manectric, and I think this might be a problem. I'm gonna calc Absol and see how much Absol can do. That's a roll. That's a bummer. Yet again. Alright, I land the Sleep Powder. Now, what kind of Gallade is this? That I'm trying to figure out. It's alright. What I'll do is I can go into Flygon. Go into Flygon and click Earthquake and it goes down. Well, I think it goes down. Or I could go into Absol, which is it's not faster naturally, so because of that, I need to figure out what kind of Glade this is first. So I'm gonna go... What do I want to do? I want to go into Flygon, because I can hit it with Earthquake, and we'll see what happens. He's asleep. Okay. Now, here, I can just click Earthquake and do considerable amounts of damage. Or, I can predict him to bring in the Landorus and go for a Hidden Power Ice, just to do a dent. I can't risk it. I probably... Or you know what? I can just U-turn. But he might actually stay in. Will he stay in? Let's see. I'm just gonna Earthquake. He stays in. Okay. That's alright. Now, here I'm just gonna... I want to Hidden Power Ice, just in case. You know what? No, I'm just gonna U-turn. Screw that. If he actually brings in Landorus, then... yeah. Okay, so guessing that damage, it's not like a bulky Gallade, it's a fast one. Yeah, if I was adamant, that wouldn't have KO'd. That would have been like an instant KO right there. So, just keep that in mind. Now, what I probably should have done is... Actually, no, what I did was right. I went right for the Earthquake, and he goes into Landorus. This is okay. Actually, that wasn't the greatest idea, because now... Well, I might have, This wasn't the smartest idea, because if he's Scarfed, then this can pose as a threat to my team. So because of that, what do I want to do? I haven't figured out which one it is yet. And I was tempted to click HP Ice. I was very tempted to click Hidden Power Ice. So because of that, he didn't bring Slurpuff. I could bring in Bronzong. And he hasn't brought Heatran either. That's odd. Okay. So what I'll do then is I can get a Toxic off. But he might try to go into the Fortress when I do that. Nah. Come on, Swampert. Don't do any crazy predictions. We gotta be smart about this. So, he probably found out that I was fast. So, he brought in Scarflandorus. So, in that case, I'm gonna go into Taco Bell then. Because the most it can do is knock off. And I can probably do a dent with Bronzong. Let's see. My own set and Landotherian. Without the Intimidate, I don't do as much. Actually, if it's Scarf, let's see if it's Scarf, because Scarf actually makes a damage difference. Where's Scarf? Yeah, you'll do some damage. Alright, so from here, I'm gonna just Gyro Ball. He goes right for the knockoff. That's clearly enough. Actually, that's a... Is that Calcrite? That's probably a bulkier Landorus. I'm not 100% positive, but I think what I can do right here is go for the Toxic, or I can Stealth Rock to hurt his Articuno. I'm gonna Stealth Rock because reasons. So let's just Stealth Rock. This next knockoff is not gonna KO. I'm gonna survive with a little, but judging from knockoff's damage, that's probably offensive. Yeah, that's an offensive Landorus. That's adamant, actually. Yeah, that's probably adamant natured. Okay, so from here, I'm gonna go into Absol, or I can go into the Keldeo. Or I can go, you know what, I can go into Ampharos, because this is but he might actually try to switch on me, so because of that, I want to go for the Toxic. Or I can go into Flygon and just... Yeah, I could actually go into Flygon and block its Volt Switch, because he runs a lot of Volt Switch. So because of that, I'm going to bring in Flygon, predicting the Volt Switch. He doesn't Volt Switch. He goes right for the, he goes for Stealth Rocks. That's not a huge problem because, like I said, nothing on my team is weak to rocks, but it wears me down over time, so I need to be careful about that. So what I can do is predict the Landorus and go right for the Hidden Power Ice. Well, let's see what he does. Oh, counter? I didn't expect that. Okay. So, right here, I can literally bring in Keldeo for free then. Did I really need Flygon? Not really. So, really, that wasn't a big loss. That actually made plenty of sense. So, what I'm gonna do... You know what? Let's bring in Absol. Because with Absol, I have Flamethrower. I'm just gonna go right for Flamethrower. He's not gonna expect Flamethrower. If he actually does and predicts that, I would be amazed. So, let's see what happens. And yeah, he's probably just gonna stay in and take this Flamethrower. So, it's whatever. But all we have to do is wait and see. But in the case that I go for a Flamethrower in his Lando, with rocks and Flamethrower, I could actually pick it off with Sucker Punch afterwards. So, that's actually pretty good. So, we're in an alright position. This battle can go either way, because... like, just look, we have alright matchups. So let's see. I think right here he's gonna go into his Manectric. And I have to save the... I gotta save the... whatever it is. I keep forgetting. He could probably bring in the Manectric, or he could bring in Landorus and just go right for the Earthquake. I don't think Absol's Sucker Punch is going to do enough. I'm just going to quickly run that calc. Naive, full speed. Let's see. Yeah, it's not gonna do enough. He brings in Landorus, so what I'll do here is I'm gonna go into Taco Bell again because I need to save Absol no matter what. And if I force him out enough times, I'll be able to... Oh, U-turn. But if he switches back in, then I can pick it off with Sucker Punch, can I? Yeah, I totally can. Except this is 72 hit points, so I don't think he might be running some form of hit point investment, but it's alright. Let's see. He goes into Absol. So from here, I'm gonna sack off the Manectric. He goes right for a Thunderbolt. Now here, I want to go into Ampharos. I'm gonna go for a Magnet Rise, just to lure in his Landorus. It's gonna throw him off completely. Let's go. Hopefully it works. Like, come on, if Immortal Mets can use Synchronoise Vaporeon against me to beat the Keldeo, I'm sure I can run Magnet Rise Mega Ampharos. So, let's see. He has to predict that. I'm sure he has to do that. But let's see. Getting a bit anxious here. That's all I'm gonna say. So, let's see. I'm just very impatient, just because I'm just very nervous. Because now I feel like I'm in a worse position. But if I can weaken his Pokemon enough. I think what really needs to go is his Manectric. The Manectric needs to go, and the Landorus needs to go. But I'm keeping Keldeo in the back for a good reason. So... Alright. He goes right for the... Oh my god. He actually stayed in and he went for a critical hit hidden power. This really throws me off completely. I didn't expect this. Oh, that makes me mad. I really didn't expect that to happen at all. Oh, that actually frustrates me. Oh, man. You know, I didn't prep enough for the freaking Manectric. That's the problem. Like, did I even have... Yeah, I had an answer. I had Snorlax. I should have just brought Snorlax. Would have made this job a whole lot easier. And now, like, my one thing, which was gonna beat this, is now weak. Not weak, but, like, it's weakened. Oh, this really makes me mad. Really makes me mad. That crit totally mattered. And I really expected him to switch into the Landorus. This makes me salty. This really makes me salty. Because now... I have to go into Roserade. If, God forbid, he is Overheat, I have to, like, go right for a Sludge Bomb. Which, he probably is running Overheat. Like, if he does run Overheat, though, it's a special attack drop. Like, really. This is making me mad. Like, this is why I'm scared of him. He runs all this... He ran that counter Fortress, but that wasn't a big deal, because the Flygon wasn't too important this match. But he has Flamethrower, and I live with just enough, and... Of course he freaking survives. Alright, so... I'm just gonna Sucker Punch right here. I don't expect him to switch. Like, let's see what happens here. I'm gonna just Sucker Punch, and... that's it. So, here's how this can go. He brings in Landorus. It's weak enough to get hit by Sucker. And then he brings in Slowking. Actually, I can probably steer this battle back if I'm careful enough. Because Roserade knocked it down to weak enough health. If it KO'd, it would have been better. But unfortunately, that's not the case. So, that's okay. If he wants to bring in Landorus, that's alright. Yep, he brings in Landorus. Because now, I just click Sucker Punch again. Because Sucker Punch is weak enough to take out the Landorus. Because it does like 27 minimum, if I'm correct. And Gyro Ball did like 40, so it's offensive. Like, the damage it did, it's offensive. It can't be defensive at all if it does over half with knockoff to a Fizdef Bronzong. That just doesn't happen. See? There goes the not the Articuno. He might bring in Articuno though. So in that case, I want to go in, well, I have to bring in Keldeo no matter what. Because Articuno kind of corners me because Hurricane. That's why. It's because of Hurricane. Now, if he brings in, yeah, he's probably going to bring in Articuno, which is at full. Like, the Slowking, I can just knock off, and it's going to do a whole lot. It's going to do lots of damage. So, let's see how much it does to Articuno. Yeah, that's not going to do enough. Is that Life Orb? No, that's Lefties. What? Depending on Absol's investment, that may have been a roll. It was not. It was guaranteed. Alright. So, let's say he brings in Articuno. It's faster than me. If I get a crit, I win. And he runs. So what I can do is go for the Sucker Punch and hope for the crit. It's super luck. It can work. Or I can go into no, I can't go into Keldeo. I have to Sucker Punch because here's how I see this. If I go into Keldeo, he has... Oh, his Lando had hit point investment. I'll look at it later. But, like, if he goes for sub, it's whatever. So, let's go for a Sucker Punch. It doesn't do even enough to take out. I lose because now he gets to bring in Slowking and it just walls Keldeo. I wish I... You know what? Let's Secret Sword in case he switches. He might try to get greedy and switch. If I can actually get 2 crits, depending on that Slowking, I can probably win. Though I shouldn't be saying that. That's not a good thing to say. Actually, okay, it's a slower Articuno. That's good to know. So let's see what he does. I know I'm not beating that Slowking. I know that's not possible. So let's just Secret Sword. That's totally offensive and and an H. There we go. So unfortunately we lost again, 3-0. So I don't know. I don't think we're gonna make it to freaking playoffs, which bothers me. So because of that, I will see you all in the next video. And I hope you enjoyed this one. If you liked it, I would like it if you leave a like, comment, subscribe. That is, if you enjoyed it. And I will see you all next time. I tripped over my words. And what else? check out his Twitter. I'll link it in the description. That was what I was going to say. See you all next time.